very quick recap. The art of the guilt-free no. And it comes from recognizing that if we say yes to everything, we're saying yes to nothing. If we try to serve everybody, we serve nobody. So let me say that again. Quick recap. Point number 1. When we try to do everything, when we say yes to everything, we say yes to nothing. As Jim Collins put it, if we have more than 3 priorities, we have no priorities. It's the same thing. We end up weak and scattered with our energy, with our focus, with our time, which means that all of the things that we're trying to do, at the very best, we're going to be mediocre. We're going to drop balls. Our productivity is going to go down. The quality is going to go down. So when we try to serve everybody, we serve nobody. The art of a guilt-free no is to start by recognizing that. And if you find it uncomfortable to say no to opportunities or to requests from other people, lean into that. Get curious. Ask yourself, what is going on here? Just notice it. Remember, uncomfortable, as often as not, there's a couple of things going on, but basically it's saying I'm stepping outside of my familiar. I'm stepping outside of the way I'm used to being. And that can include our habits. It can include our existing self-image. So it may be that there are some underlying perspectives that are creating that discomfort. Get curious. See if you can notice what those are, because that's the first key to shifting them. And as I've said, drop me a direct message if you need any tips or assistance on that process. So getting past the discomfort. It also is about recognizing that actually, if you want to lean into your potential and lean into the greatness that I know you have within you, as a business person, as a parent, and as a human being, it starts with focusing your attention on what matters, right? Those who achieve at a very high level, those highly successful people are achieving because they say no to almost everything that comes across their radar. They say no to almost every invitation. They're very, very selective and only say yes to the ones that align with their vision, their purpose, their core values, which is a very small percentage. Okay, so I invite you to think about your time and focus the way that those highly successful people think about theirs. 6 steps to doing that. First one is give yourself that permission slip. Give yourself the permission slip to lean into your greatness by saying no to all of the things that could take you away from it. Recognize that when we don't say no, we're saying yes. And yes comes with a cost. It's the opportunity cost of where your energy and your time and your attention would have been going if you hadn't said yes to this new thing. And the cost can be very, very high. I discovered that myself by saying yes to way too many things, burning out, creating some really unpleasant experiences for my children, and letting down everybody I was trying to serve because everything I did, the quality was just not good at all because I didn't have the capacity to do it all. If I, if I could do things again, maybe I wouldn't actually change anything because now I know the importance of saying no, and I can share that lesson with others so that you don't end up in that same place, because it was not a nice place to be. So if you find it challenging to say no, this is step number 3. If you find it challenging to say no, get protected. Put some things in place to stop the requests coming to you that are not aligned with your values. So that can mean putting some boundaries around your email and what you look at online and all of that kind of stuff. And of course, the time-tested approach of having someone, whether it's a virtual assistant or personal assistant or some equivalent of that, to actually screen incoming messages so that you don't get messages that take you off track. Part of that too is being really careful about what you subscribe to in email subscriptions and unsubscribing anything that is not serving you and your values and goals and priorities. And taking a pause before responding. I love this one. Pause. Give yourself some space. Give yourself time to make a decision that takes into account what is the cost of saying yes. Right? So you can think about what is the impact on my other projects, my other priorities, the other people in my life. And there are a number of things to do that, but a really simple, easy way to take a pause is just say, I just need to check whether I can actually fit that in. I'll come back to you tomorrow, next week, whatever it is, right? Experiment with a few things, and I shared in the before some of the things you can experiment with just pausing and not saying anything and seeing how the other person responds, which is great when people ask you things in person. Injecting a bit of humor when you say no, using the yes but, yes I can do it, but on these terms or at this time frame. Referring to other people instead of actually taking something on yourself if it's out of alignment with your goals. There's so many things there, right? Establishing the parameters within which you are willing to do the thing. And the most important thing, start small. If saying no is very uncomfortable for you, practice by saying no on things that are really small and don't matter that much. So that's the quick recap. For listening, I want to share with you our secret sauce, because there is something that underlies all of this, which I haven't yet touched on and is vitally important. If we don't know what's important and what's not, we don't know what to say no to, and we don't know what to say yes to. Make sense? So if you're not clear about where you want to be in the future, about what your goals are, and about what your priorities are right now to move you towards your goals, then you have no way of knowing what is aligned with what you want and what is out of alignment. And it's when we're in that state of not having a clear vision and a clear set of goals that we often say yes to too many things, because we have no decision-making criterion to help us tell. And that's when the FOMO can really hit. Maybe this is the thing. Maybe this is the silver bullet I've been waiting for. Instead, I invite you to get super clear. Set yourself a vision. If you don't know what your vision for your life and your business is, sit down, set that for yourself. Identify what your core goals are. Across all of your life, no more than 3 priority areas at any one time is a really good guide. And then use that as your benchmark, as your criterion for deciding. Say yes to the things that move you towards your priorities, provided that you have the capacity. And if you don't have the capacity, or if it doesn't move you towards your priorities, say no, because it's taking you away from the things that matter most. And it is that simple. So that's the secret sauce. Know what's important and know what's not by making sure you have clear vision and clear goals in place. I hope that is helpful for you. So I will wrap up there. Thank you again for joining me. I am just going to wrap up. I'll just share my superstar secret note. Get clear on what is most important, because then you'll know what's not most important. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this has served you. Let me know your biggest aha nugget, takeaway, little tactic, whatever, that you've gained from this. Drop a comment and let me know. And if you want a more succinct version, via my show notes for this call, also drop notes in the comments and I will get you access to that through a direct message. So thank you again for joining me. I'm Anna McKinlay, helping entrepreneurial women and mums to lean into your greatness so you can thrive in your business as a parent and as a human being. And it starts with mastering your time, your energy, and your focus. So thank you for joining me. I'll be back same time next week as well. And I'd love to see you there. In the meantime, you have a fabulous day. Bye for now.